Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's market update. Here, let me turn this down just a pinch. So, as per usual, we are going to start off with our high time frame analysis. We've been talking about this for quite a while. So the idea, and again, I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible because if it's an hour-long stream, right, not everybody's going to sit and watch this whole thing for an hour. So I'll try to keep this as short as possible, okay? If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the YouTube chat, and I'll take the time to answer them when I'm able to. So something we've been watching for a while, this is the weekly chart, right? We've been watching this possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, and I went over this in the last stream, but this was the suckers rally. The bears were euphoric here. Very quick buy up for a powerful wave 3. Profit taking here, characterized by a slow bleed, and now we're seeing this very fast move to the upside that I expect further continuation on. Okay, and my theory is that we are going to, have this sort of wrap up prior to, around July 20th. Sometime prior to July 20th, I'm looking for this move to wrap up. So we have a little bit less than 4 weeks to wrap up this move. I would like it to even happen in the next 2 weeks where we, I kind of drew this out doing something like this where we get an extension candle and then another one, and then we sort of consolidate and ultimately deviate, right, back into this macro channel, right? You can see this is the channel. Oops. You can see that this is the channel low. This is the channel high. This is the midpoint. We want to deviate back into the channel for a rejection, sweep this low, and then evaluate. Right? The theoretical 618, if I pull from the low to this theoretical high at about 35K, we can see that the 618 would be a really nice sweep of this previous low here, holding this zone as support. Okay. So this is my macro setup. This has been my macro plan for some time. That I've been talking to you guys about. Okay, so every week when we do a live stream, I want you guys to be aware of this, right? We have this really nice trend line we can see that extends all the way back from the 2017 high, was support here, was resistance here, and again, doing some kind of a deviation with a back test of that zone, I think would be really, really nice. All right, so that's what our macro chart looks like. Let's see here. What do we have? This I want to go to. Okay, this is our daily time frame chart. It is a little bit messy. But ultimately we can see this is the value area high for our previous range put in over here. This value area high is resistance here, and it is currently holding as resistance right now. I do not expect it to hold for a second time. Okay. We are at the top of this ascending channel here, so we are at a very key area of resistance. And when we did get this pump to the upside, I said this right away. I said, all right, everybody, put on your range trading caps, okay, because we're probably going to range for some time. Is it possible that we get a move back down to here to back test this key SR flip zone? Sure, it's entirely possible. I would just prefer to keep pushing up, but we'll go ahead and zoom in here and we'll take a closer look at the charts. Okay. But this is again, this is kind of our daily time frame chart. We can see we have gained acceptance above this channel before, so I don't really see any reason why we couldn't do it again. If price can sort of push through, and get that move to the upside, before July 20th, okay? So my theory was this, and I wrote this out in the Discord. I wrote this out on my Twitter if you did miss it. My theory is that we are going to take out that high. We are going to get to about 35K. We are going to do a deviation back into that macro channel, and it's going to happen in conjunction with the ETF approval, et cetera, and leading up to that approval and everything like that, we are going to continue to pump, and that approval will mark the top. Okay, It'll mark the top of the bear market rally, and we will have a very, very nice pullback. Okay. Lower time frames. We'll just quick review. This was something that I was going over, and we can see, I'll go ahead and move this. You know, we can see that we did get this deviation that I was looking for. We didn't quite go as low as we wanted to. I did open along about here. So I am in a long position. And ultimately, I was saying if we reclaim, you know, it's likely that we have continuation to the upside. We can see that we're hitting this trend line again. So, you know, wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of a pullback here, an attempt, breakout, and then we go ahead and start sweeping some of these highs here with possible continuation, you know, to this next swing failure zone at about 32K. All right. So this was kind of my, oh, we don't want these ones. Here it was. Yeah, so this was kind of my short-term setup that I've been sharing in the Discord over the weekend. So far, so good. You know, it looks good. I would have preferred, as you can see, to have swept like these lows here. You know, get kind of a tap here and then have continuation to the upside. We didn't get that. No big deal. Nonetheless, you know, like I said, I am long from here. The deviation, we've reclaimed it, and now we're just looking to break this downward trend line. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my chart a little bit. There's a whole lot of stuff going on here, but really, at the end of the day, guys, you know, you know, for me, this channel is just really key right now. I've just been making lower time frame trades off this channel, ultimately targeting higher. All right. So let's go ahead and go through all of this and clean this up, and then we'll update our charts and go from there. Oh, yep. So this was the one I called the other night with a small deviation here. Reclaim a push to 31K for a short. I was sleeping during the short, but we did get it nonetheless. So these last three calls have been really nice. I longed in here. I closed it at 31 through a limit order. I was sleeping when we hit this area, so I didn't get a chance to short it. Deviated here just like I was kind of looking for. Got the long here, and now we're looking to have continuation to the upside. So yeah, last few calls looking good so far. This harmonic was what I longed. If you guys recall, posted in the Discord. Oof, yeah, there's a macro harmonic here that I'm looking for. Possible macro harmonic. Yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, these can all go. Don't need that. Did not get that. This channel is local channel for LTF trades. This did not pan. Yep. That high was taken. We can actually move this here. $32K SFP. What is this trend line? Yeah, okay. I'll leave it. Not crazy about it, but it's fine. Yeah, you know, this worked out kind of nicely. Obviously this is happening a little bit higher, but really I was just looking to do some kind of channel trading in here, putting in some kind of consolidation, perhaps reaccumulation for then a move to the upside. And you can see that we're doing just that. So this is all pretty nice. I'm going to get rid of it. New high during time frame. Yes, so we did get that, and we're looking for even higher. Okay, this is SFP 31K, which is done. All right. Retracement not needed. Not needed. This is our key time frame, I believe. Let me just confirm on a daily. I want to be sure I have these marked just right, and I do. Yeah, so the date, again, July 20th is when we want to see that wrapped up. So finish wave 5. And this is a fair value gap on a daily time frame. Excuse me just for 1 second. All right. So we have that fair value gap there. This is right where we bounced, dude. Man, I cannot tell you guys how pumped I am on this long here that I called. I mean, obviously it wound up being just like an epic long. I think I closed my trade like 2,900% up. Literally 2,900% up is what I closed that long at. So very happy about that. Yeah, this was just a really beautiful setup. So key 24K zone support that we got. Great. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so this was the setup that I was looking for a rejection zone. Sweep these highs. Can I get all this going? That worked out perfect. I'll get rid of it. This was the setup I was looking for there. We got that. This channel, I'm not really particularly interested in keeping. This trend line, no, I don't really need it. Don't really care. Okay. Well, we can see here, these are our key zones, right? We still have not swept this. All right, let's go to, what's the date? Okay, so we're about to be closing a monthly. So we will likely have a new monthly level at 27.2. We also have a fresh monthly level at 23. And one at 16. Wow, okay. Huh, okay. Let's pull these up. So this is a tapped monthly. I'm actually going to remove that. Yeah, look at this. Untapped, untapped, untapped. And then we're going to have another untapped one here, and the next one's at 45K. Wow, how about that? Let's go to a weekly. Okay, this could use some cleaning up. Not really needed. This one's a key SR. This one's untapped. Untapped. Key SR. Untapped. Get rid of this one. This one we just went straight through. Probably backtest that actually. But we have a monthly level there, so goodbye. Goodbye. We closed the weekly above the last weekly resistance. How about that? Damn. Okay. Key SR zone. Okay, nothing new there. Daily. Remove this one. Key SR daily. Both of these are now tapped. And we rejected almost to the dollar from this daily level here with the sweep of this high, so that's really nice. We do have an untapped daily here, but I don't think it's important. Let's go back to our weekly. Yeah, these are all poor highs. We're definitely, I definitely think we're going to make new highs. I have very little doubt of that. It's just a matter of when. Okay, so we do have this untapped one here. This one here, we just tapped it. Okay, so there's no longer a... And then the value area high is 31.4. Value area low, 28. Funding rates are positive slightly. Okay. The delta, I assume, is reset. Roughly reset. Okay, we got these guys. That's good. Okay, so, all right. Basically, where are we at on time right now? 30 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna do a conclusion on this analysis, and we're gonna wrap it up. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to answer or ask now, and I'll do my best to answer them before we wrap up here. So, all right. Basically, nonetheless, we're still looking at this macro plan. Okay. So I'm still looking for a little bit more. I don't think that this is it. Okay. I'm expecting further upside to at least about 35K. Delta is positive, but it has been slowly decreasing. Okay. So like, before when we got up to these highs, Delta was like some crazy number, 32 billion or something like that. It's, virtually reset, starting to reset. Funding rates are a little bit positive. So like what I, like is longing here necessarily the best? Not necessarily per se, but these things can be overextended for a period of time. They don't have to be like one-to-one exactly. Okay. So this trend line here is the top of our macro channel that I've been sharing and showing you guys for some time. This is the top of that macro channel, okay? And we can see that that zone is acting as resistance. So here's two ways to kind of look at this. On a higher time frame, I'm expecting higher. Okay. On a lower time frame, we've had some trade setups. Namely, we have this downtrend here. I'm going to go ahead and hide this. We have this downtrend here. I traded a deviation to the upside. We can see that we hit that. And now what I'm looking for is to basically hold this area as support and break through this trend line for a move up to the previous week high. Okay. At the very least, a previous week high, if not continuation higher. All right. So like simply put, that's kind of what I'm looking for. In the event that we get another move down, I would be okay with doing some kind of like a 618 back test here. I think it would be a pretty brutal trap. But if we were to kind of get, a move back down into here, maybe sweep these lows, hold this zone, and then have continuation, creating some kind of like, an upwards formation here, that may provide a good long opportunity. If price does lose this low after kind of doing what it's done here, then, I would at the very least look to sweep these guys. And, in my opinion, like if we go ahead and zoom out here and like look at kind of this price action here, let me see if I can just consolidate this a little bit. We're kind of seeing that same sort of slow bleed, profit taking kind of downwards price action that we saw, before, like on a much, much, much higher time frame, obviously, where it's kind of creating this sort of a channel almost to the downside. That's kind of what I was looking for here. And we can see we're starting to see that if we go ahead and just kind of draw this out. And really, maybe like one more move down and a break up here. And then I'm expecting, continuation to the upside. The other case scenario would be if we broke down. The other thing is too, is that I would really like to tap this trend line here. We can see that it was support here for some time. I was kind of thinking that we would do some sort of sideways price action until we reach this zone here. And once we finally reach this zone, that's when we would kind of get this bounce to the upside and then do some more consolidation and eventually lose it, right? So that's kind of like my idea with this, but I'll keep you guys updated as time goes on, but really I'm just trying to, as I trade, I'm just trying to keep in mind high time frame, I'm looking for higher. Okay. Higher time frame analysis, I'm looking higher. So like in my low time frame analysis, I'm just looking for trade setups all the meanwhile. So like I said, I saw this descending here. I took a trade on a deviation here, and I'm just going to look to trade it higher. If we get this move up and we sweep the previous week high for a swing failure pattern, then I'll go ahead and look to short it down to at least this trend line, or perhaps the bottom of the channel, or somewhere in this zone, right? If we break up through here, we get a closure above, I'm not going to look to short the previous week high, and I'll look to get a swing failure of 32.4 zone, right? So these are like all the things that I'm sort of having in my mind. If we can get and I just want to look real quick actually. Okay, so we're trading in the value area, right? If price can break out of the value area and trade up to here, I'll look for a swing failure of here. I'll look for one of here. If we break down, I'm going to look to sweep these lows for a possible long at the midline, but I'm especially looking to reach this trend line here at some point, possibly just having continued sideways consolidation until that happens. All right. So these are kind of like my thoughts on lower time frame of what I'm looking for. But again, generally speaking, we want to keep in mind that on a higher time frame, we are looking for, some degree of a move up. The fact of the matter is that, right now, I really don't, there's just not a lot of edge in the market for me to say like, here, this is the one move I'm expecting. We're guaranteed to do this. Sometimes I have really, 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 really high conviction trades where I say, this is absolutely the trade. Like, I know this is the trade. And right now I don't have that. And the reason being is because we're simply ranging. And I honestly expect us to continue to range for a period of time. I wouldn't expect a massive breakdown. I'm not going to expect like a massive breakup. I'm going to expect to continue to range until maybe we get across into this zone, and then we can kind of evaluate and go from there. But, as the week goes on, I will continue to like keep an eye on the charts and update you guys. Maybe we'll have a little bit of volatility when Powell speaks and we have the PCE price index coming out later this week. But until then, I'm just going to continue to trade the range. That's worked really well for me so far. Like I said, I've caught along here, closed it at 31, missed the short but called for it, got the long here on a deviation. I did not take profit on it. Now looking at this, I would have liked to have taken profit, but I wouldn't be upset if we did get some kind of a move down to trap some shorts and sweep these lows for then continuation to the upside. Okay. So again, I'll continue to update you guys throughout the week. But like I said, I'm just trading the range right now. I do have this trend line in mind. I would like price to come into contact with this trend line. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to range until we reach this zone. And then from there, we'll evaluate. But what I encourage you to do is look in this area at this point. Look for swing failure patterns, right? Look for some sweeps. Look for swing failure patterns. Look for if we do break down heavily towards this zone, look for some kind of a deviation to the downside. Those are the kind of things I'm looking for here right now. They're all essentially range trades because I want to spend some time in this zone. I'm not expecting like some massive move to the downside, right? It's possible that it happens, but it's just like not on my radar right now. I'm expecting to kind of hold this area, generally speaking, do some range trading, and then have, continued movement to the upside that will eventually give us a really, really nice short trade. So, the title of this live stream is short-term long versus long-term short. The short-term long being that we're going to be in this range trading here and that we are generally speaking expecting another move to the upside. The long-term short is, being patient and over the next 2 to 3 weeks here, looking at this, 36 to 32K zone for, some kind of a move up into here that we can eventually take a short on based on, this higher time frame chart. If we go ahead and go to a daily time frame where I'm basically looking for a deviation back inside here, where price consolidates, gets a move back up into here, does something like this, and then breaks down. Okay. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. I hope this was insightful for you guys. We kind of pulled out some of our key levels here and things to keep an eye on. I will plan on doing maybe another short video or at least some chart updates tomorrow, with maybe a little bit more of a concrete plan for you guys. But really, again, I'm just range trading and I'm looking for sweeps, deviations, swing failure patterns, things like that. Okay. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Oh, it looks like we have one question here. We predicted that you are looking for a 29.4K zone before a rally up to 35K. Is that still valid? Will it trace back more? So when I called for that, I think price was trading 29.4. 29.4. Trying to look at 29.4. I don't specifically recall. Yeah, so 29.4. I remember saying 29.8 zone. So here's, I'm not sure if this is exactly what you're talking about, but to the best of my memory, again, that was this trade here. And I called for us to reject here and get a move down to the 29.8 zone, basically the midline. Obviously, we front ran that. We did about 28.9, about basically 30K. This was the previous week point of control that we bounced off of here. And, you know, I did take a long here. I actually only opened up half position because I wanted to get one more sweep, but we didn't get that. And now we're trading it up to here where I was kind of expecting some degree of rejection, a back test of this area for then continuation to the upside. So I'm not entirely sure if that's what you were talking about. I don't know if it was, I don't know where 29.4, but yeah, that 29.8 zone, basically this midline was where I was looking to have kind of a deviation to. You know, sometimes, you know, price really likes to make deviations to the midline before having some kind of a continuation or at least some kind of a deviation back inside the previous channel, right? So yeah, that's sort of where I was looking to take a trade, and like I said, I opened up half position there, so I'm not entirely sure if that's what you're referring to. You can see it's also the 618, so that's kind of why I was looking at that zone. But right now, no, I'm kind of just, you know, like I said, I'm in a long trade for this deviation here, and ultimately I'm just gonna trade the range. I really don't have anything definitive here to say like, yeah, I think this is gonna happen, or no, I think this is gonna happen. Right now, what I can tell you is that price needs to break out of this downtrend. And if we can break to the upside here and hold the outside of this channel as support, it's very likely that we make a run for this previous week high, possibly this 32K zone here for a swing failure on either one or some kind of a deviation or something like that. And when price reaches that zone, I'm going to, you know, take a look and start asking myself, hey, can I take a short trade here or here? Now, if price breaks down, well, that's not really according to my plan because I wanted to deviate and hold here. So we'll then have to reevaluate. If we had, you know, a very quick sweep down like this and then had continuation, great. I won't get stopped out because I have my stops below, kind of in this zone below the midpoint where I wanted to hold a support. So right now that's my trading plan, right? I wanted to see this deviation play out, hold the top of the channel, break out of this downtrend, and then have continuation to the upside. Ultimately, you know, maybe like a sweep here and then more range, right? And then maybe we hit this zone and that's when we get a big move to the upside. But really, like I said, I'm just expecting to range. And I've said this before, and I'll just point it out to you guys one more time. You know, people are always looking to trade the breakouts. I think that it's kind of stupid to do that. And the reason why is because, you know, if you look, price spent all this time ranging, and look how fast this move was. And then it spent all this time ranging, and then look how fast this move was. Range, fast, range. This is kind of a slow bleed move down. Fast, range, fast, range, fast, range, fast, range, fast. Why not range and then fast, range, fast, range? You see what I'm saying? Like, don't just think like, oh, we're just gonna absolutely smash and keep getting a move, or it's instantly gonna go down. Price spends the majority of its time ranging. It doesn't spend most of its time going straight up or straight down. At least not right now at this point in the market. So I 100% expect price to spend some time here, without a doubt in my mind. So yeah, like I said, put on your channel trading caps, look for deviations, sweeps, swing failure patterns, trade the range. Um, you don't have to, constantly be thinking like, oh, there's going to be a massive breakdown, like, oh, there's going to be a massive pump. Just trade the range. Once we get that next big move, expect another range, another big move, expect another range, and we'll continue to trade these and sort of, get an idea of where we're going to be going for the next one. So I'm going to trade this range with the expectation that we're going to break to the upside. Okay. And then when we get up here, I'm going to trade this range that we're going to have an expectation that we break to the downside. So that's sort of my mentality right now, if that answers your question. But that 29.8 zone, as far as I'm concerned, we basically already got that, okay? From like what I was looking for. Like I said, I was looking for the deviation. We didn't go as low as I wanted to, but we did get the deviation nonetheless. And like I said, I'm already long. So I'm going to take it play by play. It's possible that we continue down this channel, basically like this. It's entirely possible that we continue down this channel where, now we get this move down here, which finally we get to my zone I want, where we sweep these lows, and then we get, this move to the upside. Okay, that, or we hold here and we break out and get the move up. Okay, and we'll have to evaluate here and here for possible sweeps, swing failures, and a short. Okay. What time frame do you use to trade these ranges? Well, like right now I'm on an hourly time frame. I think that you can trade this on an hourly time frame right now. I think that that's great. About a 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour possibly. We haven't really spent a whole lot of time here, but I would say anywhere from 30 minutes to 4 hour I kind of use to evaluate these ranges. So, all right, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. I hope that you found this informative. Again, keep in mind short-term longs versus long-term shorts, okay? There will come a time in the next 2 to 3 weeks that we're going to have a swing short position, but in the meantime, we can go ahead and do some scalps trading this range. All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the Discord.